and welcome to ENZYMENTAL. I'm Jason Carter, and yes, you read this right, the title of this episode is Jason's Commentary on Pandemics and Coronavirus. This is one episode that I was hoping I wouldn't have to do. However, I think we could all use some common sense in a time of endless speculation. Full disclosure here, I have never had to survive a pandemic, and very likely, neither have you. I want all of you to be extremely discerning in times like these, and not just listen to the message, but more importantly, look for the intent behind the message. Recently, people have asked me what I would personally do to survive a pandemic. Again, this is new territory to all of us, so it's good to have some kind of a practical plan in place. I don't want to scare any of you or make any sensationalist claims that can't be supported. That's not at all what my podcast is about, and any of my dedicated followers could easily attest to that. I'd rather give you some practical guidance that I would personally follow myself. Some of this you've certainly heard, some of it is just plain common sense. Viruses spread through contact and exchange of bodily fluids, so in the case of a pandemic, you need to isolate yourself from the general population. Utilize the time before the pandemic develops to accumulate a decent food supply and also ample clean water. A whole disaster preparedness cottage industry exists to meet this need for you today, but you can and should certainly have some basic provisions already stockpiled, enough to support yourself for at least a month, if possible. Try to also include foods that require no preparation or refrigeration. Protein bars are a good example of this, although most protein bars are unfortunately just dressed up candy bars. I would look for meat-based protein bars and, or if you're vegan protein bars with zero sugar. A meat-based protein bar is a great source of protein and fat, and both of these macronutrients, as you know, balance the blood sugar and also levels of your stress hormone cortisol. The need to maintain balanced cortisol is critical during a pandemic and also the much-hyped lead-up to a pandemic. As with every pandemic throughout history, there are always infected individuals who nonetheless recover and survive. Their recovery is tied directly to the strength of their immune system at the point of infection and also over the course of the virus. In other words, you need to maintain a healthy immune system as often as possible. I've shown you in many of my videos many of the ways to do that, but just as a refresher, here are some natural compounds and supplements that can really help you maintain a solid immune response. I've told you about modified citrus pectin for removing heavy metals and countless other toxic compounds from the body, and you'll definitely want to keep this on hand. Try to take it around 2 hours after any supplements or medication because it'll actually pull all of those out of you if taken within reasonable proximity of anything else. It's that powerful. But modified citrus pectin is also something you can take every day and even as much as 3 times a day. It's a great way to support deep immune function and optimal cellular cleansing. The mushrooms agarikon, chaga, and turkey tail are all extremely antiviral and antimicrobial and can be taken several times each day with or without food. The mineral iodine is essential for optimal cellular function, detox, and thyroid activity. You may also want to pair some selenium with your iodine, as selenium supports the immune system in its own right and also has a balancing effect on iodine's thyroid activation. So if you take a little too much iodine, like I've done on occasion, selenium is there to balance out the thyroid activity. Grapefruit seed extract is known for killing more than 800 strains of viruses, pathogens, and parasites. You don't want to take grapefruit seed extract every day when you're already healthy, as it will actually wipe out a lot of your good gut bacteria. But if you are feeling sick, you can take grapefruit seed extract every day for up to 2 weeks. After that, if possible, take a break from it for another 2 weeks. And if you have any sensitivity to any compounds in grapefruit, or if you're taking any prescription medications that contraindicate with grapefruit, check with your doctor on that to be sure. You do not want to take grapefruit seed extract, so keep that in mind. Oil of oregano is also extremely antiviral, and like grapefruit seed extract, oil of oregano is also not something you want to take every day, as doing so will also kill off many of your good gut bacteria, so keep it only for when you're sick. The herb astragalus is one you can take while either sick or for more daily immune support when already healthy, though I suggest you listen to my podcast about astragalus first. It'll give you some great ideas on how to use it. Elderberry, garlic, horseradish, burdock root, and cayenne pepper are also heavily supportive of deep immune function and viral cleansing, and the best part is they're all food. And of course, vitamin D is very stimulating to the immune system, but as I've told you before, you need magnesium to properly absorb and utilize vitamin D, and most of us today are critically deficient in magnesium. Magnesium is also great at relaxing your muscles and nerves. Make sure right now that you have a decent food supply for at least a month, like I said, but this also includes basic household items, personal care items, and just about anything that you would typically use on a daily basis. I'm just one voice among many right now, but again, people have asked me what I would personally do in the case of a pandemic. And again, I've never had to survive a pandemic, and neither have you. These are all things that I would do, however, and if you haven't already, I would begin right now, when all of these things are still easy to find. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.